Welcome back to Forza Horizon 4, guys. If you've been keeping up with the videos recently, you might have seen that we only just finished our Forza Horizon 4 LEGO Let's Play only a couple of days ago. However, in that video, I spoke about how I was working on a future video talking all about the Forza Horizon 4 LEGO barn find, and that is exactly what we're doing today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of rumors, a bunch of theories, as well as we think we've figured out what is actually inside the barn, why it's not in the game just yet, and why it was actually delayed in the first place. Sit back and relax, this is gonna be a really cool one. Anyway, so before we get into any of that, let me give you a little recap if you don't know about the LEGO barn find. If you jump into Forza Horizon 4 LEGO right now and you try to go and unlock the barn find in the game, you will be given this message when you come up to it. It basically says, just come back for a future update. And that got a lot of people thinking about a bunch of different theories as to why this barn find isn't actually available yet. For example, I actually said that I think the developers purposely delayed the addition of the barn find in the expansion so they could artificially extend the life of the expansion. So usually you can bang out an expansion in usually like a week or 2 weeks if you're taking your time. However, if the developers were delaying the barn find, you could stretch that out a little bit, right? And make the expansion live a little bit longer. However, I don't think that that's actually true anymore. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll come back to that. Some other people out on the internet actually thought that the expansion, the LEGO expansion itself, was rushed and wasn't actually finished. I mean, if you want to think about that second one a little bit more, Forza Horizon usually drops their second expansion around like April, May time, and they actually delayed this one until June, which gave them an extra month, an extra 2 months to work on this thing. So I think it's actually finished. I think the expansion's actually exactly what they want it to be. And you'll see why. Like I said, we'll come back to the reason why this barn find isn't actually in the game, but let's talk about the car inside the barn find itself. When you go up to the barn find in Forza Horizon 4 LEGO, you will see like all these pieces of LEGO scattered outside and in the barn find itself. And that set the internet off, and they started digging around for all of these parts to see what matched and what didn't. So if we jump over to the LEGO Speed Champions website, we have a look at all of the Speed Champions cars, and we can try to match up the pieces in the game with the pieces on the site. Let's start it off with this one, the Camaro ZL1 stock car that, I would really like in the game. It's probably my favorite car in the Speed Champions set right now. However, there's a glaring flaw with that. The car in Forza Horizon 4 is actually white, and the ZL1 is actually blue. And you might notice that that is actually a common trend, not just for the stock car, but all of the cars in the LEGO Speed Champions lineup. I think the only white car they actually have is a LEGO 911 RSR, and there's no reason for a LEGO 911 RSR to be in a barn find, so that's already out the door. I know some people thought it might be the Hellcat, the Mustang, or even the Mini Buggy, which was actually sold alongside the Mini that we actually have in the game already. Sorry to break it to you, none of those are actually the LEGO barn find car. So like I was saying, if you take a look at the car in the game, it's white, and none of the cars in the LEGO Speed Champions set is actually white, and would make sense as well in the barn find. So what is it? Well, if you watched our Goodbye to LEGO video as I was building our little LEGO Mini, you might have seen a little hint as to what I think is actually in the barn find. That would be this, the 911 Turbo 3.0. And you might be saying, well, that's green and the car in the game is white, and that's true. However, take a look at the parts in the car a little bit. When I just move it around, you can see these little blue bricks are exactly the same as the one in the game. The way the wheel lines up is also exactly the same. However, no, it's not actually this car. It's not the 911 Turbo 3.0. It's this one. This was actually found on LEGO's own website, actually. If you go into the LEGO product catalog and you scroll through a bunch of the pages, you will find this. LEGO is working on a white 911 Turbo 3.0. It's exactly the same car that I built. However, it's just a white version of it. This white 911 Turbo is actually going to be sold by itself for the first time, because if you want to buy the 911 that I have, the bright green one, you actually have to buy it with that 911 RSR. But for the first time, the white one will be sold by itself. LEGO actually made a whole press release about it, where they gave us some more information about the car. Essentially, it's exactly the same thing as the green one. However, if you buy the set yourself, you get 3 cones with it, which I guess is pretty cool. The LEGO 911 Turbo is also going to start selling on August 1st. So if you want to buy the actual LEGO set for yourself, there you go. However, we actually did a little bit of more digging, and we actually came across the box for the Porsche 911 Turbo. And it looks like this. And you might notice something a little bit strange on that box. It says drive it in Forza Horizon 4. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say after we line up the type of bricks in the game, we take a look at LEGO's product catalog as well, and then the icing on top of the cake to basically confirm the Porsche 911 Turbo coming to Forza Horizon 4, as in that barn find, it says it right on the box. So yeah, obviously it's not confirmed just yet, but I think it's pretty safe to say the Porsche 911 Turbo in white will be available in Forza Horizon 4. However, let's go back to that release date. The actual LEGO set is starting to sell on August 1st, and that, I think, is why it's actually been delayed in Forza Horizon 4. Forza obviously couldn't just toss in a non-LEGO car into the game, so they probably had to wait for the actual thing to be released in real life before they tossed it into the game. However, the next update for Forza Horizon 4 is actually going to be coming out on July 30th. August 1st is actually going to be the first day of summer in Forza Horizon 4 for Season 12. So the Porsche 911 Turbo could be dropping either on July 30th with the brand new update of the game. However, I think that that's a little bit unlikely. I think we will be seeing the 911 getting dropped in as a summer exclusive barn find in the LEGO expansion. So there you go. There is everything that you need to know about the LEGO barn find in Forza Horizon 4. It is most likely gonna be that Porsche 911 Turbo 3.0, and it is most likely gonna be coming out either July 30th or August 1st to match up with the real-life LEGO set. I will obviously be playing it here on the channel first, so if you want to see gameplay of the new car and of the barn find when it does officially get announced in the game, I will be doing it here on the channel. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Until then though, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye!